700 hours. That is approximately how much time together, myself, Matt and Katie, have spent at our allotment over the last 11 months. It doesn't really seem like much, but it's actually quite a large number. If you break it down into days, it's roughly about 29 days. Now imagine spending 29 days in a row, all day, every day, down at your allotment. That's almost, 1/12 of the year. Well, it is basically 1/12 of the year. And that is how much time we've had to commit to get the allotment to the point to where it is now. And today I just want to talk a bit about the time commitment involved in having an allotment. So when we first took that plot on, if you've been following over the last year, it was in a real bad state. There was weeds kind of growing probably like 4 foot tall. The soil was really heavy. We took it on in winter, so the soil was also really hard. So to pull out weeds and stuff like that in hard soil isn't exactly fun work. But we put an awful lot of effort to get it to the point to where it is now. And I know over the last month I've only uploaded one video, and it wasn't even a video, it was more of a podcast. But a lot of the same stuff's been happening down there, so I haven't really wanted to upload videos because it's just all the same stuff and it gets a bit boring. At least I find it a bit boring, really. I find it boring creating the same videos over and over again, and I just don't want it to seem like the whole process is boring, because it isn't. There's a lot of monotonous tasks involved in having allotments. You've got to be weeding all the time. You're planting successions of seeds, you're harvesting stuff, you're watering everything, and that kind of thing. And truth be told as well, over the last month, since it's been summer, we haven't actually had a huge amount of time to be down there all the time, every single weekend for 3 or 4 hours at a time. We're going on holiday, or at least, people are taking holidays, the weather's been really hot, and sometimes it just gets a bit much. And I can't say that I've resented being there, but I've just been glad not to be there as much. Since the weather's gotten a bit colder and a bit more rainier, it's almost been a blessing in disguise, because we don't have to go down every single day to water everything, whereas in the height of summer you have to commit to go down every day, especially since we've had a really warm summer. So in fact we haven't even been down once this whole week, and I can't tell you how thankful I am for that. It's just gotten so time consuming, and I've spoken about this before in a podcast with Matt and Katie. If you haven't listened to that, I'll put it up here so you can go take a listen. But the one thing you need to bear in mind when taking an allotment is the time commitment, and it's probably one of the most challenging things to overcome. So we've spent 700 hours between 3 of us. Imagine doing that all by yourself. That is a huge amount of time to sacrifice. We've taken on a second allotment, and as we mentioned, one of our friends, Lydia, is going to be helping us. She's going to be focusing on growing loads of flowers for 2 reasons. One, that she's getting married next year and she'd like to have her own flowers for a wedding, which I think is an amazing thing to do. But also, she's noticed in her own garden at home, she's put a lot more effort into growing flowers this year, and she's found that she's had a lot more success because all the flowers are bringing in bees and bumblebees and insects, so the pollination rates are obviously increasing. So that's a really positive thing. So not only is she doing it for herself in that sense, for her wedding, but it's going to be helping us in general on the allotment, because it's going to be bringing in a lot of beneficial insects. Now luckily the second allotment that we have, it wasn't in a bad state, and in fact we've actually cleared up quite a lot already. And I'm sorry I haven't really shown the videos, but once you've seen someone clear an allotment, you kind of know what's involved. And because it's such a straightforward job on this plot, we thought, well, there's no real point in showing you what's going on. So I know I've made it sound a bit doom and gloom, like, it's a lot of time, it's a lot of work, and it is. But the way I foresee it happening, so not only do we have a second pair of hands for next year, both the allotments are going to be in a very manageable state from the get-go. Again, if you've watched some of the previous videos, we were kind of getting beds ready as we needed them in the beginning of this year, so sort of February, March. Whereas now, all of our beds are ready. So we'll actually be able to plan everything out a lot better. We'll be able to start planting stuff earlier. So things like radish and spinach, we can start planting in February. And we only started planting, I think, March or April this year. So we were kind of back by a couple of months. Not only that, we've also got to grips with what's worked there, what we can grow. We've learned what we don't want to grow. So hopefully next year we'll be able to have, we'll be able to manage our time at the allotment a bit better, and we won't have to spend as much time down there. Now that sounds a bit counterintuitive from my point of view, because I've kind of gone on about me wanting to become a market gardener one day, but it does. I'm so busy with so many other things. I've got stuff that I'd like to do in my own personal life. I've got a wife. You know, we want to spend time together. We want to go see our friends. You know, we both have businesses, and we also just want to relax. And having to go down all the time is just a nightmare sometimes. So, you know, if you're thinking of getting allotment, I would say that first year is probably going to be the hardest. If you can do it with a friend, like we've said before, definitely do it with a friend. But I foresee next year being a lot smoother, a lot more easier, more manageable. So I'm really looking forward to that. One thing I haven't been doing as well, like I said earlier, is I haven't really been making any videos. And that's kind of a twofold thing. First of all, I don't really want to keep creating the same videos. And the videos that I started making at the beginning of this channel were very kind of oversaturated on YouTube. A lot of people were making the same videos, and my intention was to initially document my journey from growing vegetables at home to hopefully one day having a market garden. And I need to kind of get back to those roots. So again, they take a lot of time. You know, filming can take anywhere from 10-20 minutes up to 3 or 4 hours, because what you see, the final 8 to 10 minutes of a video, could be a culmination of 4 hours of footage. So I've got to go through all of that, edit it, think about trying to tell my story of what I've done that day, and I haven't been able to commit all that time, unfortunately. And it's not really unfortunate. I've made that decision, and I find that there's a lot of pressure out there for people to have this facade of being in control and having everything perfect, and you know, it's just completely untrue. I've been really busy over the last month. I've had lots of stuff going on at work. I've been really busy for summer, which is quite odd for my business. And I've just wanted to take a break. You know, it's nice to have a break. It's nice to kind of kick your feet up and not have to worry about making a video and putting too much pressure on yourself. And part of the reason I wanted to make this video about time is I also, you know, I'm not like a self-help person, or I'm not trying to inspire anyone necessarily, but sometimes giving up control over something that's stressing you out is the best thing to do. And that's what I've done. I haven't kicked myself for not making videos, and although I feel like, oh, I need to, I'll end up resenting everything. So time is such an important thing, and before you do anything in life, an allotment, anything, commitment, any training, whatever it is, doesn't matter what it is, time is one of those things that should be on the top of the list of whether or not you can undertake that new task. And the main reason is time is something that you cannot get back. Once it's gone, it's gone. You know, you can lose money, but you can always make money back. You can lose your possessions, but you can get them back. Those are material things that you can always gain in the future, but time isn't one of those things. And over this last month, my time away from the allotment and making videos has been more valuable than making videos and being at the allotment. And that's just the truth that I've accepted, and I'm completely fine with it. So the last thing I want to say is, do you have 700 hours to commit to an allotment? You might not need that much, you know, maybe we faffed around quite a lot and messed around, and it hasn't been like massively efficient. But you know, that's just how we've wanted to do it, and it's been a bit more relaxed that way. And of course, if you take on an allotment that is in better condition than what ours was in, you probably won't need that much time, and if you were more organized than we were, you wouldn't need that much time. But that's just how it's worked out for us. So I hope you guys found this useful. You know, it's just a quick little update video. I just have got free time today. Kerry's downstairs having a nap. It's bank holiday weekend. The weather is absolutely rubbish outside, which is pretty typical for August bank holiday. So I just thought I'd come and say hello. You know, I've been thinking a lot about time lately, so that's just something I wanted to share with everyone. Hope you found it valuable, and I'd be really interested to know in the comments below how much time you guys spend on your allotments or in your gardens, or if you have a little farm, let me know how much time you spend on your farm. Obviously that's a bit more of a career, you know, full-time thing than an allotment, but you know, what's your advice? How do you manage your time with the allotment? How many times a week do you go down? You know, do you have any time-saving tips? Because that's really useful for me to know, but for everyone else that's watching this video. So leave your comments below, and I will pin the best comment that I think is the best time-saving tip for everyone who wants to get an allotment. So I will see you guys, you know, in a couple of weeks, whenever the weather gets better and we go down to the allotment and I've got something valuable to show you. I'll see you guys next time. I hope you have a great Bank Holiday Monday. See you later.